Hello all, and welcome to Highlighting Women in Trade and Craft Careers. This is a presentation by the American Nuclear Society Young Members Group. This event is part of the ANS Pathways to Nuclear Career Exploration Program. My name is Mary Lou Dunzik-Gougar. I am a professor of nuclear engineering at Idaho State. I also play the role of an associate dean in the College of Science and Engineering here. But I think perhaps more relevant to the discussion today, I truly understand the nature of trade and craft pursuits. While I am a professor at this point, I also have gone out of my way, for example, to become licensed as first a reactor operator and then a senior reactor operator for our little reactor at the university. I was formerly a K-12 teacher, and that's certainly a very hands-on job. But when I went back to school to study nuclear engineering at the graduate level, my research for both my master's and my PhD degrees in nuclear engineering was very hands-on. And I relied so much on the trade and craft people at the university or at the national lab, depending on where I was at the time, to help me make it all possible. Frankly, I couldn't have completed my degrees without their support. So I have an incredible amount of respect and appreciation for those folks who work in trade and craft. Now, perhaps unfortunately, many of them were men, very few women. However, there were some women, and I hope that now 20 years on, we're seeing many more women in the field. So I can relate on many levels, and I'm hopefully, like you, really looking forward to our speakers today and hearing what they have to say. So I'm very pleased to have the opportunity to moderate this webinar on women in trade and craft careers, particularly because we are in the middle of Women's History Month. Before I introduce our presenters, I just want to cover a couple of quick notes regarding today's event. If you have questions, please type them into the Q&A function rather than the chat. Type them in Q&A function, and we'll attempt to address as many questions as possible before the end of the time together. The event will be recorded, and a link to the recording will be emailed to event registrants tomorrow. Certificates of attendance for today's event are available on request. Please see the chat for contact information so you can make that request if you'd like to. For educators in the audience, please let us know if you'd like an ANS member to visit your classroom, virtually or in real life. Again, you can send your request. The email address at which you would make that request is going to be in the chat. It's askanything@ans.org. And for ANS members, ANS has a relatively new program that's called Nuclear Ambassadors, and it offers members like myself, like you, free training in K-12 nuclear education outreach. If you are interested in being one of those ambassadors, making yourself available for K-12 experiences based on your expertise, you'll want to contact Uchenna Aziba, and his email will also be in the chat, but it is uezibe@ans.org. And finally, we ask that all participants adhere to the ANS Code of Ethics and Respectful Behavior Policy during this time. You can find that at ans.org, and that link will also be provided in the chat. So with those notes out of the way, I would be very happy to introduce our special guests. They are, in order of their presentation, Jennifer Jackson. Jennifer is the manager of K-12 education programs at the Idaho National Lab. She's had nearly 20 years of experience as a teacher an educational leader in Idaho, including as the Director of Curriculum and Professional Learning for the Idaho Falls School District, which is the town where Idaho National Lab is headquartered. So in Idaho Falls District, that includes the main part of the city. And during that time, her duties included designing and implementing multidisciplinary K-12 curriculum, developing strategic partnerships with the state and national educational organizations, and a variety of other policy and management responsibilities. Now at INL's K-12 STEM program, the focus is on student outreach, teacher professional development, family engagement, and even more than that. She also interfaces with Idaho tribes, community colleges, and technical schools on behalf of INL. Now, our second speaker today will be Abigail Bowman. Abigail is a college partnerships and pipeline development lead for the apprenticeship program at Savannah River Nuclear Solutions, SRNS. She has a master's degree in curriculum and instruction from Augusta University and a Bachelor of Arts in middle grades education, math, and language arts from Covenant College. With the 16 years of experience in teaching, coaching, and leadership, Abigail began her employment at SRNS in 2019, and she served as an instructor at Savannah River Site's Savannah River Tritium Enterprise, which encompasses all activities related to tritium. Probably more interesting for this particular discussion is not only is she an educator, but she has qualified as a training designer and developer, an instructional specialist, and as a laboratory technician for the materials test facility. Also, she operates the metallurgical lab life storage. So again, very hands-on. And she's the emergency preparedness drill controller at a nuclear facility. She's currently pursuing qualification as a reservoir first line manager in tritium. With that, I will turn it over to Jennifer. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you, Mary Lou. Appreciate that introduction. And I'm so excited to be here on behalf of Idaho National Laboratory. This is something that I'm very passionate about, working in career technical education and developing a workforce for the future for the trades and operations, crafts. What we do at INL, we could not do without all of those amazing people that make things happen every single day. So I'm going to ask Uchenna to please put my slides up, and then I'll get going. So one of the things that I want to speak to very first is this idea that everything that we do at INL, every single employee contributes to the mission. So if you'll go to the next slide, something that guided our programs and has always guided our work with my team is that every job is a STEM job at INL. We have over 6,000 employees, and some of them are engaged in the more traditional STEM, like researchers and engineers. But we also have a very large workforce that what I call are in STEM adjacent careers. Those are the technicians, the operators, crafts, skilled laborers, the tradespeople. And we really could not do what we do without all of those people and their amazing work. So we work to increase the workforce of the future in that area so that our lab can achieve its mission. We also have STEM support, which is what I work in, and those are the business communications, human resources management. Next slide. And because it takes the entire workforce to achieve our mission of changing the world's energy future. We are looking for the workforce of the future in our community. One very important community members came to us and asked us for some guidance and wanted something built for their students. And this is the Shoshone-Bannock tribes, which is just to the south of INL property. And they came to us asking us for building a pathway or pathways into employment opportunities at INL that would be hands-on, that would be would make very good careers. These are high demand, high wage opportunities. And they wanted us to create coursework in their schools, and then also ways that they could get some experience at a national laboratory so that they could eventually be employed by the national laboratory. So what we did was we took their desires and their what they would like as far as more hands-on opportunities, and we thought the career technical education is really the route that we should go with them. And so we used our own labor projections, our workforce projection needs for the lab for the next 5 to 10 years. And we realized that we are going to need a lot of industrial mechanics and construction trades workers to be able to fill our pipelines that we need to work on the projects, the nuclear projects and others that we have slated for the next 10 to 20 years. So we went into an agreement with the Shoshone-Bannock tribes to create these pathways. We created coursework and opportunities for the students and teachers to work with us and come to INL and learn about these different careers. We signed that MOU in June of 2021, so we are now in our third year of the program. Next slide. So part of our guiding principles on this particular project was to make sure that we provide equitable access to some of our underrepresented students. And the tribal students automatically fit into that category, but we are also looking for other underrepresented students. We target and reach out to rural and remote communities. We look for young women, ethnic racial minorities, and economically disadvantaged. And those are specific underrepresented populations that we've identified in Idaho to be the most prominent. We also develop these programs based on cultural relevance and responsiveness. Because this is in a tribal community with a very rich heritage and culture, we wanted to make sure that we were honoring that and that we incorporate that into the curriculum. And we wanted to make sure that we honor also that desire to have experiential and place-based learning. Next slide. So as the laboratory's mission work continues to grow, so does the need for a well-trained operations workforce. Building, maintaining, and supplying our growing operation means that the demand for skilled tradespeople at the lab is greater than ever. And that need is only going to increase over time. So we created what's called the INL Future Core program. It ensures that Idaho students will be prepared to fill these positions. It was created, this program was created when we took the tribal MOU and combined that with the Idaho Falls School District Memorandum of Understanding, and we put them together to create what we now call INL Future Core. The program aligns both of those programs under one umbrella and with the goal of developing a community workforce to meet our workforce needs at INL. So part of the mission in education and workforce development is to ensure that Idaho students here in our own community are prepared to fill these specific jobs. And we identified the skills and competencies needed for entry-level positions in these areas, and we created work-based learning pathways that lead to high-paying, high-demand jobs at INL in both industrial mechanics and construction trades. So now in its third year, the program continues to grow. During the school year, our coordinators, and you're going to hear from one in just a minute, Matt Bates, but they support courses in applied industrial mechanics and construction trades at both Shoshone-Bannock Junior Senior High School and the Career Technical Education Center in Idaho Falls. During the summer, students around Southeast Idaho participate in a paid 6-week summer internship pre-apprenticeship experience at INL. They learn valuable skills in trades and crafts like reading schematics, machining and fabrication, industrial maintenance, welding, and electrical control systems with mentors from all over INL facilities and across directorates. The program keeps safety at its core, ensuring that all activities are conducted under the supervision of INL experts in either one-on-one or small group settings. And for the students, it's a great opportunity to explore a variety of careers in trades in a safe, engaging, and rewarding environment where they get to interact with INL employees, mentors, and even hiring managers. Many of these students didn't even realize that these kind of jobs existed at a national laboratory. It's also very rewarding for the INL employees who get to work with these students. We have over 45 employees in trades, crafts, and operations from all over the lab working with the students each summer. For them, it's an opportunity to help prepare the workforce of the future. Next slide. So the growth of the Future Core program, we had the 2 MOUs that we put under one umbrella. We created these CTE pathways at both Shoshone-Bannock Junior Senior High School and at the Career Technical Education Center in Idaho Falls. There's work-based learning opportunities, teacher training, mentoring, career counseling, and job assistance for these students. They also, both districts receive a grant for equipment, materials, and supplies. And I will just say that we have been growing the program. We have increased student enrollment, and we've also been approached by a few different schools, additional schools, that would like to enter into this program as well. And so more to come on that. But at this time, if you want to go to the next slide, please. I want to introduce to you one of the coordinators of this program who has been working with the students from the beginning at both Shoshone-Bannock Junior Senior High School and at Idaho Falls Career Technical Education Center, and the teachers and all the employees at INL who work with the students. And he's going to give you a little bit about where we are and where we're headed and some highlights. So Matt Bates, please take it away.
Thanks, Jen. I appreciate it. That was awesome. So my name is actually Justin Matthew, but they changed it to Matt, which is I appreciate because my parents have played a cruel joke on me. But so what I do for not just the INL, but my students is I am trying to give them those intangible things that can't be taught at regular high school. I teach them measurements and blueprints and those things that just can't be taught. I want to help them become better employees and better people, all those fun things that you get to help with students. But I also help the teachers that are in my realm of work, of the CTE work, which is to, what makes a student more employable. I think that that being in the realm of work I've had, so a little bit of background, I've been a carpenter. I'm a third generation carpenter. I've been with the INL for 30 years. I hate to say that, but I've been working with the INL for about 30 years now. And my favorite thing in the world to do is to just be around new students and to teach these students how to be more employable in our background. So that's really my job, is just to help students and teachers be better at what they do. Even though I don't have a huge teaching background, I'm not an educator, but I am an educator of apprentices and other construction people. So that's kind of what I do. I just love being in this kind of employment, and I love working with students, and I appreciate Jen for putting me in this. Thank you.
Hey, Matt, will you tell us a little bit about the young women who are involved in the programs?
So I actually have about 70% women in my program. It's not normal. 20 years ago, you would have never saw this, but we have more young ladies in our program than I ever thought would be in this thing, and they love it. This is their passion. This is their deal. I have women that are actually running 4- and 5-man crews for me at the school. We do a lot of school projects. We do a lot of community projects, and these young ladies are just awesome. That's what they love to do. So I think we're going to see a little shift in the way that things are going, from 20 years ago till today, because our young women are interested, they're capable, and they are amazing. And I love working with them. I take my young ladies to construction combines, things like that, and they work circles around all of the other students. So yeah, I love working with my young women, and they're the ones. So, if I have a couple of boys, that's kind of abnormal, because most of my ladies like to come and do my classes. And the industrial mechanics program as well. We have young ladies that just they're welding circles and fixing cars right around all the boys. So my young ladies are very important to our program, and we have way more than we do young men. So
yeah, and I can also say that the INL employees and hiring managers, mentors have given the same feedback, that the young women participating have been excellent students, and are well on their way to becoming employed at INL. So we do want to show a little video just to highlight some of the students and their work. So I think Uchenna is going to tee up this video and play it. It's just about 1 minute and 49 seconds. So not long, but kind of fun. So thank you.
My name is Matt Bates. I am in the K-12 Education Division, and I am a coordinator for the Construction Trades and Technologies program at Chauvin High School. Today, we are seeing the students that we actually hired as interns for the INL. They come out of CTE programs around Eastern Idaho. We have some from Idaho Falls, Blackfoot. We have students from Chauvin. What we're doing is we're walking them through what a day in a life at INL looks like in the trades.
I'm Serenity, and I'm from Compass Academy. I just got into welding last year. was looking for a new class that didn't seem like me, and I just went with it, and I really liked it. It gives me pride. I can say I did that.
I just wanted to go around and see like the different types of things that INL does. When I was younger, I only thought they focus on nuclear, like energy and stuff. I realized it's like a bigger picture than that. They have so many different facilities that do so many different things. Looking at all these different opportunities, it makes me kind of question what I want to do in the future, since INL has so many good and different like jobs.
Yesterday we went to heavy equipment and we got to ride around in a bobcat and played with a spider crane. I'm hoping to find some new trades that I can go into, hopefully get a job at the INL.
I love the STEM program because it gives us an opportunity to showcase what our craft teams do on a day-to-day basis. The participants and students, they get to see firsthand what is happening here in pretty much their backyard, and hopefully inspire them to seek a career within this great organization.
Perfect. Thank you, Jenna. And those were some of our students from last summer, and some of them hopefully will be coming back this summer. So we're just getting our 2024 cohort hired right now. So thank you, and back to you, Mary Lou.
Thanks, Jennifer. Very interesting stuff. Makes me want to come play with you sometime. In any case, I've already introduced Abigail. So Abigail, if you would like to take control at this point. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you guys so much for this opportunity. This is just awesome. And Mary Lou, thank you. I previously was an educator and I taught math. So if there's anybody watching that is currently in high school or even in college, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat for me. So the biggest struggle that I found in teaching high school math is most of my students were, I see some ones out there, all right. They wanted to know when are they ever going to use this in life? And when I got out to Savannah River site, it was a whole new world to me that completely revealed the application of all the maths, sciences, and engineering that took place in high school. And I wish I would have known more about Savannah Riverside as a high school teacher, because the opportunities are amazing out there for all types of learners. Now, I don't know about you, but if you are the hands-on type learner, like myself, sometimes finding paper pencil work was boring. And when I went out to site, I became a brand new learner. And as Mary Lou mentioned, I was a trainer in tritium. And part of my job, I don't know if you guys know tritium, it's a isotope of hydrogen. And Savannah River site, one of the missions that we have out there is to help the Department of Defense in protecting our United States in nuclear deterrence by providing parts and components for the nuclear weapons. And tritium plays a key role in that. It makes a bigger boom in when a nuclear weapon is utilized. Hopefully we never have to go there, but we're ready. So part of the process of tritium and preparing the components for the Department of Defense, I had to train and help qualify operators in that. So as an educator, I wasn't going to be able to teach it if I didn't do it first myself. So I became qualified in the hands-on, and it was so awesome. And, you know, there were a few women with me that I look up to that were able to teach me their craft and their trade and help teach me so I can in turn help others. Which led me to the apprenticeship program, because one of my heart's goal was to make this opportunity available for younger people and to those that were coming out of high school that maybe didn't want to go straight to college, but they wanted to utilize more of their hands-on mechanic or production operators. So I'm going to go through and share a little bit about our apprenticeship program. And then I have one of my apprentices here with me, and she's going to share a little bit about her experience. All right, so let's play this here. I hope you all can see that. All right, so like I said, I'm at Savannah River site, and most of you guys might know or have heard of the Masters Golf Tournament. So we're located close to where the Masters Golf Tournament is happening, which is where we will, it'll be coming up here soon. And I am trying here to move to my next screen, and it is not playing here. How do I move my slide? It was working earlier. Lovely technology, folks. All right, and it keeps going away when I do that. So let's say view. We're going to play. Oh, that's because we're at the end. So how about I go back to the beginning? Sorry, guys. I might need Uchenna to take over or Janice to take over on my slideshow here. Let's go here and play. There, I think I got it now. There we go. All right, I'm going to skip through some of this to do an abbreviated version, but I can provide any information if you guys have follow-up questions. So, and this video is going to be provided in the chat for you guys to access. But I'll start with this slide. So we currently have 24 registered apprenticeship programs at Savannah River site. 5 of the 24 are for our trades, and they're the technical apprenticeship programs. We have a nuclear operator, we have a maintenance mechanic, we have E&I technician, we have a radiological protection inspector, and a quality assurance. We also have a youth apprenticeship, which you can begin in high school, which currently the only registered one is our records management clerk, but we are also building an information technology youth apprentice, and an emergency medical service firefighter youth apprenticeship, and we're working on building those. I'm going to focus on the 5 trade technicians when we get further into the slide. So at Savannah River site, we have a growing mission. And what we were finding is, you know, historically, people will get a job there and they won't leave, they stay. And now those folks that have been there for years are becoming to the point where they're ready to retire. So a few years ago, over 70% of the people that worked at site had many, many years experience. Now, in the last 5 years, in the last few years, we're seeing 75% of our workforce, it has less than 5 years experience. And when it comes to what we do out at Savannah River site and our unique missions being one-of-a-kind facilities for numerous of our facilities, we needed expert skills, and we were finding you can't find that. So the birth of the apprenticeship program came to bridge that gap. We created the program so that we could train that workforce for the particular jobs that we had and provide that experience that was seemingly retiring and walking out the door. And then as we continue to grow over the next few years and the amount of individuals that we're going to need to support our growing missions, we're developing pipelines, and that really starts even in elementary and middle schools, you know, with the STEM education and the interaction and having Savannah River site partner with the local school counties so that we can build that pipeline and help with the curriculum so that by the time they graduate, if they don't enter one of our youth apprenticeship programs, by the time they graduate, we're ready to hire them for that workforce. So that's kind of the background of where our apprenticeship program started. In 2020 was our first cohort. We had about 10. Today, we partner with 3 technical colleges local in the area, and they share the curriculum for as an apprenticeship enters the program. They teach some of the classes, and then the apprentices come on site and get hands-on training, and we teach additional classes there. So we've partnered with 3 local technical colleges, and we're continuing to build those partnerships. Currently, we've had over 530 apprentices that have been enrolled graduate from the program, and 91% of them transition to full-time roles. And I'll talk a little further about that later. The whole idea is earning while you're learning. So you're being paid essentially to go to school. You're not paying for your school. And then you're learning the skills you need to through the apprenticeship program. So upon graduation, you can continue your facility specific training. And you can see our vision there. So one of the partners that we have is Aiken Technical College here. So we started out with 10 apprentices in 2020, and in 2023, this picture is from August, our graduating class. We had 104 apprentices graduate. All during the time that they are apprentices, they're getting full-time pay, full benefits and everything. And as long as they graduate our program, they continue in that. Some of the thing that makes this so unique and exciting for both our company and the technical colleges is we've partnered with local Department of Labor. We have a workforce hub initiative here that these grants and these departments help fund the schooling so that the school doesn't have to pay for the apprentices attending. The apprentices aren't paying and the company is not paying. So here underneath the funding, you can see some of the local partners that we have. Some are federal and some are state specific. We do have partners in Georgia and in South Carolina, as we're kind of right there on the border. Our production operator apprentice, that is the one that we typically have the most apprentices come through. It takes 8 months to complete our program. I know it says 7 months there, but it's actually 8 months to graduation. And they count as full-time students when they're at the technical college, but they're also full-time employees, so they get the benefits of both. And the courses that they take at the technical college can be applied for a degree if they choose to pursue that. And Savannah River site also offers tuition reimbursement. So if they want to continue to pursue a career or a degree, they can do that. The other trade programs we have, maintenance mechanic, that's an 18 months and it's a certificate program. We have our electricity and instrumentation technician, and when they partner with the technical college, it's 2 years, but they will come out with an associate's in applied science. And in the rad protection is also 2 years, and there'll be an associate in applied science as well as a result of that apprenticeship. So those are our 5, let's see, 3, 4 that we talked about, and then we have our youth apprenticeship. So those are the ones that I manage, and my apprentice that I have with us tonight are production operators. So once they graduate, they'll go to various facilities and they'll work in those facilities as nuclear operators. So here's our program partners. Currently, we partner with Aiken Technical College, Denmark Technical College, and Augusta Technical College. And then some of our other partners that help with the funding for the schools is the Lower Savannah Council of Governments and Savannah River Community Reuse Organization. And all of those help provide funding for the apprentices to attend the schools. Here's some pictures of our Denmark Technical College cohorts. We have a few more funding sources with Denmark Tech due to various grants being in that area. And even to the point where with the WIOA grant down at the bottom, you can see the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. An apprentice can apply for that. And if they get accepted, they get even additional money for gas to go back and forth to the schools. So it really is a win-win for everyone. Here's a picture. We just joined with Augusta Technical College in Augusta, Georgia. We are working to continue the funding sources on the Georgia side because primarily most of our work has been in South Carolina. So right now the funding source is coming from our Workforce Hub initiative that Biden has given to the Augusta area. And you can see it's the American Economic Recovery Grant provides some of that. So our successes in the fiscal year 24, we're expected to enroll over 100 apprentices this year. And these are just some statistics based on what we've been able to accomplish so far. So that kind of takes me to the end of our apprenticeship program. Like I said, we are working with building the youth apprenticeship and giving an opportunity for youth to get going. Because the amount of growth and with the new missions out at Savannah Riverside, it's our workforce, we can't half the way keep up with the trade and technical skilled jobs. And there's a lot of local high schools that have, you know, mechanical programs, carpentry programs, welding programs, E&I programs, and cyber and computer support programs. And so we're beginning to partner with the high schools to develop that pipeline. And that's in the works now. And then as a graduate in the youth apprenticeship program, they can either carry on into a full-time position in the adult apprenticeship program or to a full-time employee. So we're trying to create those pathways because it is very needed. I know when I was a teacher, it seemed like students, if they weren't going to go to college, they were looking at the military. And so often as a teacher, I didn't encourage them in the technical skills and the trade type areas. And I see now how much it is needed. And for our adult apprenticeship, for example, you only need a high school diploma and have to pass what's called the work keys. And you can essentially come out of high school if you get accepted into the program and hired, making about $65,000 a year. That's what our nuclear operators make. And then when they go on shift, you know, shift work, you have an opportunity for overtime. You could even do more. I mean, this is a career opportunity because you start out as a production operator, but then you have an opportunity to grow. And every 6 months you get a pay increase. So it really is a career opportunity that is so needed. We can't keep up with hiring operators and mechanics in E&I because it's needed at the site. But that's enough for me. I would love to introduce my apprentice, Miss Janasia Patterson. She's been with me since September, and she has supported our country as a National Guard, and now she's supporting our country. She's going to actually be going to the tritium facility as well. So I have been so pleased to work with her and be her manager, and I would like for her to share a little bit about her experience as an apprentice. So we're switching places.
Hi, everyone. My name is Janasia Patterson. I'm from Rock Hill, South Carolina, and I moved to Augusta about a year ago. And I've been a part of the apprenticeship program for about 6 months. Prior to the apprenticeship program, like she just said, I was in the National Guard and I worked as a supply technician. And Although I love my job, although I enjoy my job as a supply technician, I wanted to pursue a career where I had more potential for growth. So in my search, I came across a Facebook post shared by my boyfriend. The post was a flyer for a production operator job at SRS, and he saw this as a fantastic opportunity for me. He was right, and here I am. I'm very grateful for the chance that I took. I took my work keys, I updated my resume, and then I prepared for the interview. And with being in the military, I was well aware of teamwork, family, and safety culture. And I really believe that these attributes align with the apprenticeship program, therefore making me a more suitable candidate. In the beginning of the program, I was honestly very nervous because I didn't know what to expect, but thankfully my family helped me to ease my concerns. So I'm just going to share some key points about the program. So firstly, one of the biggest benefits of the program is its commitment to education. Not many employers offer to pay for schooling, but this one does, and they require us to maintain an 80% average. It's challenging, but I think it's fair, and their support for those who need it, and the classes that we take can be converted to a degree if we choose to do that in the future, like Abigail just said. And our company offers tuition reimbursement, which can make the degree more affordable. Our schedule is well structured to balance practical and academic learning. Mondays and Tuesdays, we do on-site training, including classes like tritium, reservoir handling, while on Wednesdays and Thursdays, they're reserved for courses at Denmark Tech, focusing on nuclear fundamentals such as physics and chemistry. And those aren't harder than your average high school science classes. And I really think the learning experience has been great, with a strong emphasis on teamwork. And so there are 4 of the people in my class that we'll be going to the same facility, and we definitely support each other in our classwork and on the job training. We encourage each other to be better, and it really creates a positive environment and bond. So we know we'll have a teammate or a friend when we graduate the program, and in the next phase of our qualification process in the facilities. I really think our diverse backgrounds help us to support each other in our learning, and it can ensure that everyone understands the material. But for me, the hands-on training has been one of the most valuable parts of it. And one of the labs that I learned so much about was the biofuel in Denmark Tech, and it was a unique experience that I enjoyed. So I also enjoyed the mock training that we did at a facility where we practiced manipulating valves and lockout and tag out procedures. And due to the material that we work with being radioactive, we have to be proficient at following procedures. Therefore, practicing in a training environment has been so helpful, since I haven't used procedures in this way before. And I'm glad to be able to have the hands-on training prior to working with the live material. But overall, this apprenticeship program has been incredibly rewarding, and it's not just what I learned, it's how I apply it to my career, and it's provided me with a solid foundation so I can grow. So I really look forward to where this journey will take me for years to come. Thank you. Now just stay down.
All right, so I will give it back to you, Mary Lou, and you can take it from there. But thank you guys for this opportunity.
Thanks to both of you. I appreciate both of your perspectives. So we've been monitoring the questions that have been typed into the Q&A, and I have one really that's for both Jennifer and Abigail. And that is, any advice you might have for others who want to start a program like something that you're describing?
I can start, and then Abigail can chime in. I guess the advice, since we're focusing more on high school level, it would be to have strong partnerships with your local districts and really get to understand their needs. That's what's been really kind of exciting, and I think what makes it more successful is that the schools are coming to us with their their ideas and what they want to build, and we are kind of finding ways to build those pathways for their students. And then as the word gets out, then we have all these other additional schools. And I will say that, you know, some of the other schools have a little bit different ideas of what they want to build. We have a new school coming on this next fall that they wanted to focus more on kind of cybersecurity, building cybersecurity pathways. And so we're working on that. We're helping with curriculum development and coursework, and trying to find pathways that those students could then take what they learn in the high school setting to a community college or university to continue on. But there are a lot of different kind of disciplines or pathways within cybersecurity too. So anyway, I think that's one really important thing, is really just to listen to the schools, the teachers, the administration of all of these school districts and what they want. And the other thing I would say is having strong partners in, you know, other industry partners, because we not only are growing, we have a lot of subcontractors, and I'm sure all the labs do, but you know, we rely on the same workforce with all of our partners and all of the other business and industry in our area. And so it benefits us, and it benefits them to have these programs. And so having strong partnerships with other organizations, other providers, other industry is really important as well. So Abigail, I'll let you let us know what you think too.
Sure, thank you. So ours kind of began out of the need for our developing skilled workforce and trying to create that. So I think for something like our program, you would definitely have a serious conversation with the training department, with your HR reps and your managers to kind of pitch the vision, because it took a while for that to really embrace that. Hey, we've got to hire a lot of people, and our training department can't handle it on our own for these fundamental trainings. So DOE requires fundamental training, and NSA requires fundamental training. And so that would be the first place to start, is having that conversation with HR. What would this look like? You know, we had a lot of MOAs, memorandum of agreements between, because we have 3 companies on site. And so all 3 companies are using our apprenticeship program for their fundamental training. And then the second thing I would say is partnering is key. Just like Jennifer said, you've got to establish relationships in your community. We could not do this without going out into the community, establishing
Could you try again?
relationships with I think my Siri was just talking there. Sorry, but establishing relationships with the Department of Labor groups in your area, the various councils, and getting involved there and having those conversations. Funding sources, what does that look like? And then the technical colleges for us. If you have technical colleges in your area, going and speaking with them, and we have built an amazing set of relationships in this area that has taken time and footwork, face-to-face meetings, getting out there, having these conversations, getting people excited. And now we're at the point where we're going to the high schools and meeting with the superintendents and getting the word out there that way. So those are just a few thoughts that I have about doing that. And you know, my boss, who really is started a lot of this groundwork, would probably be a great resource. You know, if you are serious about learning more about it, that could be a resource as well to have that conversation.
Thank you both. I have another question, and Abigail, maybe you'll start and then Jen can pick up. And just a notice to the attendees, we will have a hard stop at the top of the hour. So maybe if you could make your final comments like 2 minutes long, that would be a good thing. So the question is a little bit general, but I think it's an appropriate one given the time of year. And that is, what are the benefits to women of trade careers? Because they are not traditionally in these types of roles, as we've already mentioned. What are the benefits? What are the challenges? Abigail, if you'd like to go first.
Sure. So if you look at the job opportunities, so I mean, we all have our unique talents and gifts and things that we are good at. And I think if you are a woman who enjoys working with their hands, likes a flexible schedule, and really likes to see a task through, but wants job security and a great paying job. I mean, if you look at our the trade opportunities for our apprentices, you get hands-on experience, you get to work, you're not stuck behind a desk in a computer, right? It's not, once you go through the qualification process, your actual day-to-day is pretty laid back. It's not very physically taxing. Yes, you have to pay attention and, have a questioning attitude and not get complacent in your job because of the material that you're working with, but you get paid well for it. And you have great benefits. Like at our site, you get great health benefits, you get, retirement, you're making, 65,000. Okay. I have a master's degree, and as an educator, I wasn't making that much. So, the opportunity is there. And then I think in the past, there's been a stigma that trade careers are, getting grunt and dirty and getting your hands dirty, so to speak. But that's not the case here. And, you really can take the gender out of it and anybody can do that job. I think there's been a stigma in the past that women can't do this type of work, and that's just not true. And can be very effective. They do say women can multitask a little better, pay attention to detail, and those are necessary things for jobs like this. I'm just saying. But I'll let you, Jennifer, take it away if you have some other thoughts.
Yeah, you did great, Abigail. I'll just add that, I think if you like this kind of hands-on work, go for it. You will have some challenges in that it is still a mostly male-dominated profession, but our young women that have been doing this, that has not fazed them. This new generation, I feel like they are ready to take that on and to change that stigma or their persona, and really they are engaged in it. They know they're contributing to a very important mission. They feel very, very excited about the work. And so I think that's just, it's just a great opportunity for young women that they need to explore.
Thank you. Great answers. Well, we're almost at the top of the hour, but I think that we don't have time to answer all of the questions, but you have the Ask Anything link that you should feel free to use. With that, I will thank again all of those who have participated. Thanks to the young members of American Nuclear Society who had this idea and went about putting this together. I started myself with my experience in the American Nuclear Society as a graduate student, and I appreciate the opportunities that young people have now to participate in the society. With that, thank you all for attending and have a very good evening. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye.